Responding tonight after President Trump's controversial new executive order cracking down on protesters on college campuses. Good evening, I'm Ama Dates.
And I'm Julian Glover. The Trump administration says that new executive order seeks to fight anti-Semitism on college campuses.
It calls for deporting students deemed Hamas supporters who are not U.S. citizens. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, here's a look at what else President Trump signed today.
He signed a memo to prepare a massive facility at Guantanamo Bay to be used for housing deported migrants.
The Trump administration also rescinded a memo freezing spending on federal loans and grants after it caused widespread confusion.
As for that executive order to combat anti-Semitism on college campuses, it could now mean possible deportation for students who were part of pro-Palestinian demonstrations. ABC 7 News reporter Luz Pena went to the University of San Francisco and has the details.
International students with F-1 visas who participated in pro-Palestinian protests woke up to a threat by President Donald Trump. They could be deported.
It's scary knowing that we have to be cognizant about ICE coming onto our campus. It's scary that we have to worry about DHS stalking our students.
President Trump signed a new executive order on Wednesday, combating what the administration categorizes as the explosion of anti-Semitism on university campuses. Since October of 2023, many Bay Area university students organized protests for both sides. At least 20 pro-Palestinian actions were organized by University of San Francisco students. Jaden Jockle speaking for many of his friends who were part of these actions and now could be at risk.
They're telling us that they're scared. I think it's completely reasonable to live in a country where you have rights that you're expected to be granted, and then when a new administration comes in and tells you you can be deported for expressing your First Amendment rights, it's shocking.
In April of 2024, pro-Palestinian protesters shut down the Golden Gate Bridge and I-880 in Oakland for hours, protesting the Israel-Hamas war. Jeff Wozniak, attorney with the National Lawyers Guild, represents many of those protesters and said attorneys now are gearing up to represent students.
Broad, overreaching order that is going to be impossible to enforce, but most importantly, it is an attack on free speech.
Wozniak emphasized international students also have rights.
There's a process by which that visa has to be revoked. It's not just something that through the issuance of this order, it's just going to happen automatically. There's going to have to be a review by ICE.
One of the main questions is how will the federal government know which students with an F-1 visa were part of these protests? The next question is will local government collaborate with ICE and also universities?
Several weeks ago, the University of San Francisco sent this email to students, breaking down how they will respond to ICE agents, saying they intend on protecting students, adding the director will not share any student or employee information unless compelled to by a signed court order or verified claim of imminent danger to public safety.